Hey everyone, NTSG here with another weapon tier list video for New World. But instead of PvP for this video, we will be focusing on PvE. This includes anything from main missions to side quests and even dungeons. Once again, I will state that this weapon tier list video is before release, meaning that on release, certain weapons could be buffed or even nerfed. So I'm only rating them based on the current state of the game and the meta. But let's stop wasting time and get straight away into the video. Enjoy! For the PvE weapon tier list, I will have 4 categories, C being the worst and S plus being the best. This of course doesn't mean that the C tier weapons are not viable. It just means that they are less viable compared to other weapons which are rated higher in my opinion. Any weapon can be used to great success, just that some weapons will give you better results in the long run. So let's start off with our C tier weapons, the musket and sword and shield. Sure, the musket does a lot of damage, but in the open world it just doesn't provide you with much. Once an NPC has closed the gap on you, your musket becomes useless, because of the delay which the weapon has. Then as well, the sword and the shield, even though it's really great for tanking and has good crowd control, its only purpose in PvE is in the dungeon, when you are full group or full stack. Otherwise it just takes too long to take down the NPCs. Next we have the B tier weapons. And in that we have the Great Axe and the Warhammer. Now both the Great Axe and the Warhammer offer a lot of crowd control and can do decent amounts of AoE damage, and they both have good survivability, but they don't output the same damage as for example a rapier or a spear would do in PvE, therefore it takes a spot in the B tier weapons. Next we have the A tier weapons, the rapier, the ice gauntlet and the bow. The rapier is a fantastic weapon for PvE, but in my opinion it is just a little weaker than the spear, hence why I put it 1 tier lower. The Ice Gauntlet is good and balanced weapon for PvE, but it's best with group play. The cooldowns are quite long and you can run out of mana pretty fast, but still it's a fun and strong weapon choice. Finally we have the bow, which probably deserves to be an S tier weapon, since the bow has such good versatility, it has access to AoE abilities, it can slow NPCs. However, when it comes down to nuking larger NPCs or bosses, it will take some time, especially if you are missing your headshots. And then also let's not forget about how many arrows you are consuming in PvE, which can also be a problem. Hence, this is why I put it in the A tier, since the bow is also a high skill cap weapon. Now let's move on to our S tier weapons, the spear and the fire staff. The spear is a beast weapon in PvE. The spear can output a lot of damage and it has a lot of crowd control. Its low cooldowns and abilities to rend and make NPCs bleed make this weapon the perfect PvE weapon. Then we have the fire staff, which has access to AoE and single target damage. In general it has a great kit and probably one of the top 3 weapons for damage output in PvE. The only reason I haven't put the fire staff in the S tier category is because it burns through mana way too fast. And then finally we move on to the final tier being S plus, our overpowered weapons. Both the life staff and the hatchet are the best PvE weapons by a country mile. They even work perfectly well together. I'm actually planning on making a solo PvE guide which will include both the life staff and the hatchet, so stay tuned for that. The build is just amazing and got me through all my PvE missions without even breaking a sweat. Now let me show you a full graph of the PvE tier list again, so you can have a brief overview of what we just talked about. Well, ladies and gents, that's it for my video. I really hope you enjoyed this video because I had a lot of fun making it. If you are excited for New World's release and excited to see more of my content, hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in my next video. Peace!